Welcome back, everybody, to the Earthboys podcast. My name is Emmy.
And I'm Jaden.
And today we have a lot of shit to talk about. Well, I have a lot of shit I want to talk about. I don't know if you have any topics you want to throw in first in the ring before I throw you some ringers.
I sold another one of my film cameras. Second film camera I've sold this week.
Nice.
Sold it for a good amount, 200. So
nice.
It's pretty chilling.
Hey, man, you got to have a little rotations in your fleet every now and again.
Yeah, I gotta open it. The thing is, I'm just open up, like, there's no way, like, obviously we like to have collections of things, but also it's like, if I'm not using them, they're just collecting dust. I don't have the money to buy other shit that I don't need.
Right.
So that's all I've been struggling with, finding. There's this weird little camera that was made in, like, East Germany in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
And it's very, like, crude looking in the sense where you're like, yeah, that looks almost Russian, you know, from that era.
Right.
And here, I'll show you a photo of it.
Nice.
It's a cool little 6x6 camera, so it shoots the same as the other one. But, like, scroll through and tell me that doesn't look fucking kind of weird.
Dude, that looks totally, like, deep European, late 70s, early 80s European vibes.
Yeah.
Like, Eastern Germany block type shit.
Like, brutalist type architecture.
Almost, yeah, because it's silver.
Yeah, it's all
silver.
weird looking.
That's pretty cool, though.
But that's
I like
pretty
the
much
style.
all that's been going on with me.
Nice.
As far as, obviously, shooting more since we've been going out a lot more.
Right.
Just around the town.
Yeah, going to the beach and shit, taking photos. Fun times. I like that.
Yeah. So what are the things you have boiling on your mind? I see
shit, dude.
Smiling already.
It's two big things that I'm pretty sure people already know from, obviously, the title, but P. Diddy's house was raided.
No! When?
Yes.
I mean, good. Like, no, as
like
good.
Yesterday or the day before it was raided. I had no idea because, like, I don't follow P. Diddy or none of that shit.
Yeah, he's been getting in, well, he's been doing bad things.
He's been doing a lot of bad things.
He's been doing crimes.
He's been committing crimes.
Allegedly.
Alleged crimes right now.
He's been up to, like, things.
Things, right. Nefarious things.
Allegedly.
And the problem with those allegations is you can't raid somebody's house unless you actually have probable cause and a role. Like, you can't raid someone's house without the evidence being there. Like, you need to have a really good reason to, like, get that whole SWAT team to come raid the house.
Yeah,
like, it can't be a joke.
And if you do mess that up, like, if you don't get the proper warrants and stuff, it's like a full. Like,
it's really bad.
It gets dropped.
And
then now you can pretty much. I think you can sue the city or something. But yeah, you get dropped. That's what happened to Jeff Whittick, because they busted it in his house for coke,
and he didn't have
it. But they didn't have the proper documentation, and he got off.
Right.
He was looking at life, and then went from life to you're back on the streets. Which is crazy. But you keep going.
But yeah. So they're doing this thing with P. Diddy, right? Where there's been a long time investigation, I think, for the last couple of months, and there's been a lot of evidence piling up of him, trafficking drugs and guns and stuff, and then there's been a lot of allegations. Like I said, they're just allegations right now, but whatever. My personal opinion don't matter, but. There's been a lot of allegations about him supposedly trafficking underage people, right? Unfortunately, it's a horrible fucking thing, on top of all the bad stuff that he's doing.
Yeah.
But then there's also more people coming out that worked with him in the past or dropped out the game or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even Cat Williams is saying all the weird stuff that he does, weird sexual stuff that he does. And people are now saying that he was the one who put the hit on Tupac and killed Tupac, and then
I heard that rumor.
Had Biggie killed, and then he started Bad Boy Records, and then from there started manipulating the hip hop and music industry and started, sexually abusing a lot of up and coming artists, and then doing all sorts of weird stuff. And so there's just been a lot of weird stuff happening in regards to P. Diddy, and so they finally, I think, had enough to have probable cause in order to, like, fully raid and seize evidence, because another one of their reasons for doing that was they didn't want Diddy to be destroying evidence or getting rid of stuff. So they figured, we can't waste any more time. We have enough sufficient probable cause to raid his house. Let's do it now. And so they went and they raided it to get as much evidence as possible. And so...
Do we know if they found anything yet?
Not explicitly, I don't think, from what I've read. But the lawyers who officially made the case... are saying that they have a lot of incriminating shit. Wow. And they legally cannot say that unless it's 100% facts that they have shit that is incriminating.
But don't they lie to people all the time, though?
Yeah, but if you lie like that in the capacity that they did in this report, then you can have your whole bar license taken away.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like
the feds are playing games like we have this and they're making Diddy like sit there sweat like, oh, what if they do have it?
Yeah,
okay, I did
no. Like they're hard balling Diddy right now.
Jeez. So where's Diddy at? Is he in custody?
No, he just before his shit got raided. I don't know if he got tipped off or something, but he took his plane from LA to I think San Diego, refueled all the way down to the Caribbean, and got like airlocked. He basically can't fly. He got grounded in the Caribbean right now because they have an extradition policy or whatever with the U.S. Do? I think so.
So he's kind of fucked.
So he's kind of fucked. I don't think he can go anywhere. A lot of people are saying though that he wasn't on the plane and he sent the plane as a dummy distraction and then went and hid somewhere else, which I think would be a little more likely because everyone can track the plane. Everybody can see the plane on those tracking websites or whatever. It's all public information. So,
I mean, even if he did get grounded there, he can take a boat. You can tell me Diddy can't spend $100K.
No, but he can't. He can't leave. He can't travel anywhere.
Yeah, legally.
He couldn't even. Illegally, he could take a boat.
Well, I mean,
theoretically,
say Diddy is doing crimes.
Yeah.
And like is doing bad, nefarious things.
Mm-hmm.
I guess at some point you probably should have had a contingency plan if you ever go down. But the thing about these people is they never think they will go down.
Yeah.
Till they get paranoid enough. You know,
and the dominoes start falling.
Yeah,
and then they start doing this weird stuff and they disappear.
Yeah,
you're like, what happened?
So, like he, not that I'm voting for him, but like if it was me and I was like had money and stuff like that, wouldn't you have a crazy compound in a country that doesn't extradite?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you have a plan of how to get there? Or
yeah, I mean, we're playing devil's advocate, obviously, like looking at all scenarios. Yes, if you're someone who does alleged crimes, right, X, Y, or Z, doesn't matter what it is. It could be any crime. But if you have if you've been doing it for 30 years and you have all this money and all this security and all these things, it would be logical to assume that they have a compound somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not out of, the ordinary to think that.
So say he sold them the dummy. And
yeah, if he sold them the dummy on the plane.
Where does he go? He can't go anywhere in the States. Everybody knows from our parents' age to like, I guess maybe like a year or two below us who Diddy is, right?
Yeah,
like obviously the younger
knows.
Kids don't realize like
how influential he was.
Diddy was. Which,
yeah,
like, it's one of those things where like they don't realize where their rappers came from.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the rappers now are on like their emo drug addict phase, whereas like when we were growing up, the rappers were the drug dealers and like the people building
right. But
building record companies, doing all that.
But that also feeds into a lot of people's like, and I have my tinfoil hat, like 2 tinfoil hats on now at this point.
Okay.
A lot of people were attributing Diddy's rise to basically him being assisted by members of the Illuminati and the CIA who were using hip-hop to break apart the African community by accentuating a life of crime and drug dealing. And they specifically chose people to come up in the ranks to support these ideals through rap music. Obviously, this is a huge conspiracy theory, and this could be complete bullshit, right? People are like reaching far as fuck, I think, with this one. But
you like when this happens.
But I know, of course I do. That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But as I said, I had 2 tinfoil hats on right now, so you can take it however you want to take it. But they're saying that there's also some things that lead into that. The CIA having its fingers into something with Diddy coming up, and then him starting Bad Boy Records after I forget her name. God damn it. She disappeared or whatever, and then even Pete. Okay, so like here's a weird example. You remember when at the Travis Scott concert when one person got stampeded to death?
Yeah,
basically?
I remember the stampeding. I think it was multiple though.
Okay,
I think it was like a handful of people got killed.
Okay, so they're saying that that's an Illuminati ritual to get more power. So you have to kill somebody, you have to like sacrifice them essentially. So like look at the Travis Scott set at the time; it looked like all weird. You came in through the mouth and everything.
They did the thing where it was like the mouth, and then like there's illustrations of like how you get to like the hell on earth or whatever. It's like you go through the mouth. Like it, like I saw the whole like when that was big. I saw the whole thing that like was it Astroworld?
Mm-hmm.
That's like that era.
Yeah,
I saw those. Yeah, that is interesting. But also, I feel like if you're gonna sacrifice someone, like you have to be there to do it. Wouldn't you? Not like.
No, what happens is these concerts are like, is it's like an energy farm. So you have all these people like hyped up and excited about this, giving all their energy and like attention to one person. He's funneling it all into his soul. And then when you kill those people, that energy gets sent to you. I mean, this is like obviously huge conspiracy theory.
I've seen
whatever.
Travis Scott live. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's a. I'm sure it's a hype as fuck show.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No. I'm sure it is a hype as fuck show. But that's just what some conspiracy theories are.
Of course.
They're starting to tie in all these other weird shit to the bottom of this. But in relation to P. Diddy, this is where I'm going with this. Back in the day, he held a concert right before he started his record label, and at this concert, it was at this college. It was like a couple thousand people, and they locked all the exits from the outside. People panicked and started stampeding, and like 9 people died. And then immediately after that, boom, he rises to popularity like unstoppable shit. And so that's what's obviously like. These are all allegations. This is This is not fact.
You were deep in the Twitter.
Exactly. This is not fact. This is all allegations. These are all my opinions. They're not true. I'm just telling you what I've been seeing.
But although I do like
what
to
people
see,
are saying.
If you're scrolling through like Instagram Reels, and like you have one of these weird things come up, like obviously right now another big topic is the dude allegedly from Nickelodeon being a weirdo.
Oh yeah, Dan Schneider. He's been a weirdo.
Yeah.
And
like,
I always
look back at some of the things and you're like, yeah, this is super weird. Not that I was super deep into it because I just like, it's like, there's so many things in the world and I'm dealing with my own stuff and X, Y,
you can't keep track of all the weirdos.
But also, it's like like with Diddy allegedly doing weird things, and even Nickelodeon allegedly doing weird things. All of it wouldn't surprise me,
which is fucked up. I mean?
Which is crazy that now we're at the point where you hear something allegedly scary or crazy, and you're like,
well, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, that doesn't sound crazy. Like or X, Y, or Z.
They could do that. Like the fact that we're almost like, I guess that kind of falls in line with all this crazy shit that's been happening in the world.
Yeah, dude, like seriously, it's one of those things where you're like, huh. That wouldn't put it past it. Not that I'll ever get to the bottom of it because the public will never really.
Right.
But like,
yeah, it's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy to think.
Yeah. So they raided P. Diddy on a bunch of allegations. Obviously, like I don't have all the evidence in my hands, so I can't really give any more details from other than what I've seen. But yeah, man, P. Diddy's a weirdo. Dan Schneider's a big weirdo, and that's one that like growing up. The feet stuff on iCarly and Victorious and like all those other shows, like I was already not too much of a fan at that time, and I didn't think anything of it. Obviously, I'm a kid; I'm not gonna be thinking about that bullshit. But now, in hindsight, looking back, when you start putting into context, like stuff that Dan Schneider did or said to these people, and like people were, they left the industry or couldn't say anything because they were scared, and now that they're coming forth with their evidence and all that. I mean, holy fuck, man! Like, you have to be on some real demented shit to be like running a kids network like that, and then having them do a bunch of that weird shit, and then even at one point having kids send you pictures of their feet like for a contest. I'm like, dude.
I watched that Penguin video. Is that his name?
Yeah,
the guy with the long hair.
This Moist Critical, but it's the same thing. Penguins.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I always forget his name, but when
Charlie.
his videos pop up on my shit, I like it because he's very like level-headed. Seems like he just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, Charlie's awesome.
Like he seems like the guy like maybe I don't know, maybe he's at a card shop and you talk to him and he's like, you're like, this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah,
that's what he reminds me of.
Yeah, he's a really dope guy.
So I watched the video because I was like, all right, like I was a kid during this time. iCarly was a good show at sometimes. Like my favorite was the older brother.
Oh yeah, Spencer.
That dude cracked me up. I don't know why.
Spencer, yeah.
And it was weird to think like some of the feet things that like it was one of those things where I was like, huh, that's weird as a kid.
Like I can't believe they got away with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but obviously as a kid you're like, you don't even know that people are attracted to feet. Nowadays it's more normalized and like not normalized but known about. Whereas like back then feet would be like something very specific.
Something very niche.
Yes, but nowadays it's like
it's more
not normal, but like it's not like if someone was to tell me, "Oh, I'm into feet," I'd be like, "Oh, cool, why?"
Like that is just normalized more. It's like, oh, people are into that stuff. Whatever, you do what you want to do. But back then, it wasn't even a thing that people were just constantly talking about. There was no feet finder. There was no girls making millions of dollars off feet pics and stuff like that. So it was weird. It was like you wouldn't think about it. But now that all this stuff has come to light, you go back and realize like how weird it actually all was.
Yeah,
it's like a bunch of I've always heard stories, and obviously I'm into conspiracy theories. I love that shit. It's been a couple years since I've heard people being like, yeah, the media is going to crumble and there's going to be a bunch of stuff coming to light, hopefully.
Yeah.
And now look, the trickle is slowly starting.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of shit now.
Now we're getting a bunch, and it's been mostly at the end of last year, and now the beginning of this year, a lot of weirdos have been getting caught, or, you know, have fingers pointed at them, and allegations thrown at them and stuff. Obviously, we don't know what'll happen until the dust settles, but it is a lot of weird shit happening.
Has Dan Schneider done anything abuse that he's going to get in trouble for? Or is it more of just like that was in bad taste and gross?
I think,
and you knew what you were doing, but illegally, like, he's not getting in trouble.
I think that's a gray area. And I think at this moment...
Because I don't know much about it.
Yeah, and I don't know too much about it either. I just know kind of the gist of it, so I'm not going to act like I'm the know-all, say-all about this situation. But I think personally it's a weird gray area for him. And I think, yeah, for the most part right now, it's like that was done in bad taste as far as you can go. And why the fuck, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I also think because of the allegations coming up, there could be a case built against him.
Ooh, yeah.
And then eventually it'll be so much stacking up against him that he won't be able to escape it, and he'll probably get sent to prison. That's my guess.
I saw something where it was like everyone's coming out, right? Mm-hmm. Like Drake Bell. I know Drake Bell did some questionable things himself.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Well, he
allegedly.
Yeah, he got a message from an underage girl, found out she was underage, and was like, "Ew, don't fucking message me again."
Oh, and that's what it was?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then people were like, "Oh, but you still entertained the message." And he's like, "No, but I literally told her not to message me again." And they never did, you know?
Yeah.
And so then he came out against Dan Schneider, and also Josh Peck's uncle or something, who was somebody working at the network, sexually abused Drake Bell, allegedly.
Yeah. I heard that Josh Peck reached out to him, but everyone was mad that he didn't make it public, which is like, not everything needs to be public. But I saw a comment in one of the threads, and it was like, why has Ariana Grande not come out about anything? And I was like, ooh, that's a good point. And plus, she was one of the people that was doing feet things,
the weird feet things. Yeah, and I think when things like that start dropping, and, a lot of it is still seen as just allegations, even though there is some evidence that heavily suggests it's true. I think when you're a celebrity, you have to kind of sit back and wait for the right moment to come in and say, hey, I was a part of this too. People know already and can put two and two together that she was there and probably experienced weird stuff, but it's up to the artist to decide, or the person to decide to say, hey, this actually happened. This was my experience. She's probably, tried to push that trauma or whatever, like, out of her mind, and dealt with it a certain way to where she didn't want to think about it. And to come out publicly
is to admit, like, something awful happened to you, which could not be embarrassing, but it could make you feel like
exposed to the world. Yeah, of course. And so there's a lot of factors that are involved, I think, especially when you have a lot of eyes on you and a lot of people that, like, idolize you and all that shit. Once you start throwing a wrench into the mix in that regard, I mean, it just creates a whole bunch of more problems. So,
but also, like, I feel like the way she was jumping around guy to guy for a little while, like, rapidly, like, just from experience seeing people that are like that, there's usually some type of, like, weird dependency issue or what, X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, there's something else underlying. That's going on.
So, like, I don't know. I mean, I hope, like, obviously me being like, she needs to come out and say something. Like, I'm not like that. But also that would imply that you hope that there was a victim so that you could dunk on the
so-and-so,
whoever the bad person is, Like, I'd prefer it not to be true, because I'd prefer someone not to get, like,
abused or anything like that. Yeah, of course. That's horrible. Nobody should be able to experience that.
Yeah. But, like,
it's still weird.
It's really weird that all these things that are unraveling.
Yep, 100%.
So, I was up a little late last night. And I saw that a ship crashed into that bridge.
Dude, that's the next thing I was going to tell you.
Bro, dude. I saw the video and I was like, that's wild. The whole bridge is wham.
Yeah, there was, like, I don't know if it was like 20 to 40 or 40 to 100 cars on the bridge at the time.
No.
There was a lot of construction workers working on the bridge at the time. And I just saw a post. It was talking about the telemetry of the boat, because you can track these. It's a container boat, so all this is public information. You can track them, like, online or whatever. And they got the route of this boat. Apparently, it, like, lost power, and then it somehow managed to steer itself perfectly at the last minute to hit the support beam. And so
I saw Top G tweet it.
And so people are saying that this is one of the Black Swan events that's going to, like, start something at the end of this year. And this is somehow, because it's going to cause supply chain issues and a bunch of weird shit. They don't know how it's going to affect the economy and all that stuff, because that's an important port where, like, stuff is being brought through. It's going to be closed for months, like, so they can repair all that shit. And so now that people are wondering if it was a terrorist attack. I don't know. These are all allegations or whatever. But it's definitely suspicious as to like...
I mean, it did look weird, the fact that when it was going... I didn't really watch the full clip, but like from what I saw, it did look like... It looked like they just turned off the lights, whether it could have lost power or didn't. But the way that works is I don't think losing power affects like the engine.
Well, they
like
have...
They're two different systems,
They have
no?
backup generators.
Yeah,
that should be able to keep them sustained. Is my understanding of it. I could be wrong. Obviously, I don't know the details of what the boat has inside, but I've seen a lot of people be like, don't they have generators on that thing? Like, what?
Yeah, dude, no, it leveled. Like, honestly, I didn't think the whole bridge was going to go down. But it literally went down from all the way right to all
the way left. It's the videos, like, I keep seeing it, obviously, like, because it's all over my timeline, but my brain is still almost rejecting that something like that could happen, like, just so blatantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you'd think that whoever's piloting this ship, right, the ship captain or whatever, like, you'd think they'd be paying the fuck attention to when they're, driving a big-ass container boat, especially going under a bridge like that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, it just reeks of weird. It reeks. And it's like somebody did something. There's something that's not right. It doesn't smell right.
Dude,
I don't know.
Obviously, these are fast-forwarded videos, but the way the bridge just goes...
Dude, can you imagine
so
just
insane.
Being on there and then it just drops underneath you?
Weren't we on, like, the fucking bridge, the Mission Valley Bridge the other day, and I was, like, telling you about the time that my uncle was like, isn't that crazy this bridge could just fall at any time?
Dude, fuck out
of
here.
And I just was sitting there and I was like, well, I wasn't thinking about it now, but now I am.
Dude, you didn't notice, but when we were on our way to Coronado, like 3/4 of the way over the bridge, I had my eyes closed.
You're an asshole.
Dude, it makes me feel weird being on bridges like that.
Yeah, dude, that boat just straight levels it. So it's like...
Yeah, it's horrible seeing that shit happen. But it leaves you asking, like, one, why wasn't anyone paying attention? And two, how could you even let a boat of that, like something that large, hit a bridge from so far away? Like, you're watching it go. Oh, you lose power. Oops. And then the thing turns at the last second just to hit the pillar. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
That just doesn't seem right to me, man. It has weird shit written all over it. But the thing is, you can't ever know. Like, we can only make, obviously, like, guesses.
What if it was a complete accident, though?
I mean, that's the thing. Sometimes the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. Or I don't know what the quote is.
The most boring version of it is the correct one.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, I feel bad for like the people on the bridge.
Yeah, the people were just minding their business, drivers. And they were just not, they were probably entering the bridge and then seeing a boat come in and being like, "That's weird. I hope that boat stops."
Well, no, when you're on the bridge, you're not going to see the boat really because the bridge is so high up. And you're in a car. So you're not even going to see the boat coming. Honestly, you probably just heard, like, the wires of the bridge snapping or, like, a sound that is probably, like, one of those things where it's just not, like, you're like, what is that sound? It's so bizarre and loud. And then all of a sudden you just see...
You just drop down.
Literally like in a movie, like when fucking the Avengers smash a bridge and then you see the people run. Like, that was reality for those people.
Yeah, like you see their perspective.
I'm sure none of them survived. Because that's such a hard... Those boats are massively tall, and the bridge was way above the boat, right?
Yeah, imagine the force
those freighters are huge.
Of everything hitting the water. Like, dude, there's no way.
The way it happened was even if your car stayed on the cement, the fact that it pushes through the water, and then the water obviously has to come back. It was like it's probably like getting put in a hydraulic press.
Yeah, you're absolutely fucked in that scenario.
Oh,
unless by some miracle, you somehow made it. I don't know, man. The chances of that surviving that fall, next to none.
Or what if you were supposed to get on the bridge, you got a flat tire, and you're stuck right before the bridge? You're like, oh, fuck my fucking luck.
And then you see that shit happen.
See the bridge get deleted. You're like...
Dude, if something like that happened to me, I would become a devout religious person.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be my sign to be like, go back to church.
Now this makes me want to...
But yeah,
this makes me want to look at the news to see what like the coverage is, because obviously Twitter's only going to keep showing you like the little time lapse of the thing.
Well, here's the thing: it's like the ship would have been piloted by a Maryland licensed pilot. Apparently, it lost power and was adrift. At first, I wondered why cops weren't at either end of the bridge stopping traffic. Then I remembered that Baltimore's mayor defunded the police and they have no cops. So it's like they didn't even have like people to respond to that situation.
Jesus.
Or even if they did, it probably wasn't a lot of people.
Oh, Baltimore was one of those cities that got rid of the police? Or
I think so, yeah.
Like, crippled the police?
Yeah, their mayor or something like defunded the shit out of them, so now like they don't have a lot of resources to deal with stuff. But yeah, here, I'm trying to find another.
It seems like anyone lived on that ship, though. Because the ship looks to be still floating with a bridge on it.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, because now what do? Do you hit the fucking... Put it in reverse, Terry, and just pull out? And then obviously the ship is unstable. But yeah, who knows what was on that boat?
Uh-huh. I mean, okay, so... Justin, officials stopped cars from crossing the Francis Scott Key Bridge just a moment before the cargo ship collided, saving lots of lives. Apparently, the ship issued a Mayday call before it collided, even though it had lost power. So that's been proven. And then it's saying that a lot of construction people were stopping the cars, and they saved a lot of lives. And said 6 people remain missing. 2 have been rescued and sent to the hospital.
Oh, thankful. There's not a whole lot of people.
Yeah, so I think actually I think the original number I saw was way exaggerated.
Here, I'll send you the photo of what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, dude.
Like, they hit that shit hard. In order for you to rip the hull of a ship like that...
Oh, my God, dude.
It's fucking crazy.
Wow, that damage like, look, is just
you can see insane. Interior of the ship, like, whatever that thing is, that looks like a generator in the front.
Uh-huh. Whatever that is, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Damn, bro, it literally makes it look like a Coke can. That's how crazy this is.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, like, obviously everyone's like, well, you're putting, like, an unstoppable force into an unmovable object.
Yeah, sure, but...
Like, yeah. It's one of those things, but also it's just like... I know I'm saying like a lot, but just seeing
the actual carnage, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It puts it into perspective, like how big and powerful those things are when they collide, and like how much destruction it could cause. It's pretty insane.
Seeing this up close would probably put your mind in it'd probably make you sick.
Yeah. Fucking hey, dude. Even just a regular picture of it looks really insane.
Yeah, bro. I don't want to see that shit.
Uh-huh. But yeah, dude, that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the bridge, man. It just looks weird.
Jace just sent us the Octane Prestige skin.
And then there's people saying that there was explosions on the bridge.
Oh God, is this gonna be another?
And then there's 3 pictures of like fire erupting from the top of the bridge while shit was breaking. And then there's
probably sparks from the metal being twisted.
I don't know. He said, I'm no bridge engineer, but that was a heavy structure. There's a lot of weight and energy involved. Where there's energy, there's heat. And if there's enough heat, there's also light. That's my 2 Zimbabwe dollars worth, Lamau. Okay, bro.
Send me the tweet.
So I'm going to DM it to you right now. You can look at the quote here. There you go. I just sent it to you. Maybe, because of the destructive nature of this episode, I'll probably add some photos for context that we're using just so people can kind of see what we're talking about, That would be pretty cool. But yeah, man, it's just a lot of weird stuff happening lately, and obviously, just kind of dealing with our own lives and stuff, but it just adds more shit to the mix. More things to think about, I just can't believe, that we're in a time, obviously, like, shit happens in every era, but it just feels like we're in a time where just, like, so much extra stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Because there's always things happening in the world, right? It's never going to stop.
I think it's a lot of fear-mongering. It's just we have... normal people have access to things.
A lot of info.
And so everybody has to have an opinion on it. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like... I think it's going to be one of those scenarios where obviously we're going to get a lot more that comes here and there.
Yeah.
But I guess if the ship did have a full-on failure and then it just carries momentum. Like, of course, you can't turn a ship that maybe the hydraulics don't work or whatever it could be,
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never know what it is. But also, like, those little, like, lights at the top. All bridges have lights.
That's what I'm saying.
So 2 of those that were circled just look like normal lights. That person took off of a horrible, like...
shitty security camera quality thing, and it's like, okay, it looks weird.
The other one that's an explosion, well, I mean, I guarantee there's lights or sparks or some type of heating when you have steel girders that get bent and fucking just
mangled apart with excessive force. Okay, I could see how there could be some sort of sparks or something when there's a bunch of metal scraping against each other and being destroyed.
That's what it looked like to me. Not that I'm any type of expert,
right?
Yeah, when I saw that last night, I was laying in bed like trying to go to sleep. I don't know why. I just I went through an era where I got like 2 weeks of really good sleep. Now I'm in that era of like I'm getting like whatever sleep.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to sleep, so I was sitting there just looking, and I saw like it was like literally like 23 minutes ago this thing got hit, and I was like, ugh,
fuck, what now?
why do I have to be up when like there's like breaking news?
Like makes you not want to sleep. You know, you kind of want to see the reactions live. But I saw something about it when I was scrolling like at the last minute before going to bed, and then when I woke up, I laid in bed for like 45 minutes, and I was just reading up on what had happened. So it was just crazy, man. Like the Diddy thing, the Dan Schneider thing, the bridge thing. Obviously, like, yeah, we're in an information age, so we just get pelted by news stories all the damn time. But you know, there's stuff happening in this world right now. I feel like a lot of cool, not a lot of cool stuff. I shouldn't say that. It's a lot of interesting things happening.
Yeah, we can't get away from anything that happens.
Yeah.
So I checked my YouTube app this morning, to see like at my watch time.
Did it give you the right hours?
Check this out. Showing data as of March 1st, 2024. Right now it's March 26th. So
Are you kidding me?
I have 5 days of missing updates. So hopefully like I like it
you
updates
get boosted
and I just
more.
get like hella boosted.
Yeah. I wonder why for you at least like it takes so long for the times to update, whereas for me it takes every 3 days I get all my hours.
Well, normally I get my hours every night.
Oh,
it's
damn.
literally right when the clock strikes 12.
It updates for you like that? Okay.
It updates for me that quick.
For me, it's every couple of days, but it's consistently every couple of days.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe they give you like a refresh rate that's higher. Not saying like the more things you get, but I think maybe, you know?
Yeah, I don't know the full like, you know, thing behind it all, but
yeah,
it is every couple, because I know that there just last week I refreshed the page for 2 days in a row and nothing happened. It was like, okay, whatever. And then on the third day it refreshed, and I noticed that it kind of had been like that for the last like month or two.
Yeah.
Where it wouldn't update for a day or so, and then after that it would update itself.
I think YouTube Studio in general, like everything has those little white out exclamation points, meaning like shit's wrong.
Oh yeah.
Or like depending on like, say if I go look at one of my older videos, it'll say like, oh, time from this time to this time isn't accurate, you know, because YouTube just has problems in general.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like after all these, like once they fix all their shit, if I'm gonna get like a pretty
good boost. Yeah,
that'd be nice.
I would hope. I mean, I would hope so. It would make
Watch
sense.
them just delete like 100 hours. Like,
fuck. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah,
YouTube's really weird like that. They do weird stuff under the hood.
The way I get fucked over and shit. Like that, yeah.
Especially with the algo and all that stuff. Like it's pretty normal for us to get griefed by YouTube like that. So
yeah,
not too surprising.
But yeah, I saw that this morning. I was like, well, the thing is, I'm just looking forward to hopefully it updates and then it gives me like, oh, by the way, we fucked up. You got like 300 more hours.
Yeah.
That would be like, yes, thank God. But, you know, hey, it's me. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Like that.
Your luck is very funny with YouTube like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question. How do you feel about YouTubers when they post like I got my dream car, and it's like clearly some ostentatious car, or finally got my dream house, and then in the thumbnail they put like $3 million, or they show you how much the value is?
Yeah.
How do you feel about those videos?
Genuinely, I couldn't really care, but a part of me thinks, like a small part of me goes, good for you. You probably put in a lot of effort to grow this YouTube channel. So yeah, you know, you deserve to reap whatever rewards come your way for putting in the work. Like that's, you know, equivalent law of exchange. You put in what you get out.
Yeah.
Or you get out what you put in. Clearly you put in the work to make this money and to get this house. Congrats. That's pretty cool. Do I need to see it? Do I need to be updated on it? Not really. I couldn't really care. Yeah. You know, it may look nice for a video and it may get a lot of farmed in views and impressions or whatever, likes, comments, whatever, because people are going to be wanting to know all the personal stuff. But generally, I couldn't really care. You know, it's one thing to see success from afar and be like, yeah, hey, congratulations, you probably earned that. You know what I mean? Good for you. You're successful. You got something that you really wanted. That's fucking great, man. Like, keep on doing what you're doing. You keep finding success in your life. That's great. But you don't have to tell me about it. You know what I mean? Like, I see a lot of these people be successful and post all these things and major compilations of all the stuff that they own. And I'm like, you know, that I would probably show off some of my stuff too. But at the same time, like, I don't think I would care to show people my collection of shit. You know, it's like, it's my stuff.
Unless it was one of those things where like I'm making content like in my living room or whatever, and you just happen to see the house. That's cool.
That's different because
but also,
that's your
I feel
setting.
like it's weird when people go, they flash the dollar amount of like X, Y, or Z in the thumbnail. Obviously, they're trying to farm the impressions, you know, like.
Yeah, they do it under the guise of being like financially transparent, so that here's what I spend, so that you know exactly like what's going on and like what it actually costs. I'm like, okay, personally, that information I couldn't give a fuck about.
Yeah,
it's like I don't really care about the nitty-gritty details. It's not my business. Anyways, you know what I mean? Like, good for you. Like, I don't understand. For me, it just doesn't make any sense why people have to flex specifically all these numbers and like make this huge deal about it.
When I see it, I'm just like, I just feel like this is just flexing rather than showing like, thank you guys, this is cool, right? Like, I'm a millionaire now. Like, to me, I don't know. I just feel like it's always like weird flexing.
Yeah.
And I'm not salty about it because I don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But like, there's this tech YouTuber that I followed back in the day. I remember when he posted the video of him getting his Lamborghini like years ago. And, like, I found him when he was a small creator, and I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, he's like at 30K maybe. And now obviously he's like, that's what I saw the other day. He's
got several million subscribers.
Like beachfront looking house. I didn't even click on it because I didn't want to watch it because it's just like, why do I care? You know? Yeah. But also it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I watched the Lamborghini video. That was cool. And then like the comments didn't look like they were going very well. You know,
yeah.
But also, that's a lot of salty people online that are probably like didn't chase their dreams
exactly,
and they're mad about it.
And that's the issue. It's like, I think for a lot of people that watch YouTube, especially that type of content, they in a way are like jealous, I'd say, because they're like, oh, I want to have that, like. Yeah. I want to live that life. Oh, it must be nice being rich. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's
it's a double-edged sword. You know, like you can find success your own way, which is great. I mean, I would love to support people who find their own success and put in the hard work to earn it, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're gonna have hella people hating on you and like calling you a piece of shit or being jealous or, you know, saying this and that, whatever.
I think it's the way they put it. Like the person put like the $3,300,000 like in the thumbnail. Like clearly they're trying to get the money click, you know?
Yeah.
To me, that's like, okay.
That's different though.
You're a little weirdo.
Yeah, because that's like, why would you do something like that? You know what I mean? Obviously people are going to be interested in something like that. You don't have to put it in your face. Sure. Yeah.
Like, oh, I bought a Hasselblad.
But that's like you're reviewing stuff, and that's your like that's the whole point of the channel, is to show what the price is and what it is and all that stuff. That's already expected for some channels. But when you're just some random person and all of a sudden you start posting about like all the stuff you have and like the nice house you live at, it's like,
it is a little weird.
Who really gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like we know you're just showing it off because you think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna get weird about it because there's people hating in the comments. Like, of course you're gonna bring those people to the table once you start flexing all your shit.
Yeah.
Duh. They get all surprised and mad, like, oh, why is everyone being all mean to me? Like, I'm just showing my success. Well, duh. That's how people are going to act.
Yeah.
There's a lot of jealous people out there, a lot of fucking haters out there.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I'm not saying I'm not a hater for certain things.
Oh, no. We've had our hater episodes. Dude, honestly, low-key, those are my favorite episodes.
We're just shitting on whatever.
Hating.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get it out of your system.
I don't know if that guy's still listening, but that guy that commented on that video, he goes, you know, it's okay to be a hater sometimes.
Yeah.
Or we're all a hater sometimes. That guy, oh my God. Shout out to you if you're listening.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. I still laugh about it to today. Because then it reassures you, like, yeah, you're, like, as a person, you're allowed to hate on certain things. You're allowed to have things you don't like, you know?
Sure.
I hate this world where, like, you have to be okay with everyone's, like, things that they're okay with.
You have to always agree with everything.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No really way.
Don't. You really don't.
No, I love disagreeing with things and being critical thinking and analysis and being a hater.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, of course it is. But
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I can understand why people would be jealous or hateful in that regard, and also I can understand why people just wouldn't give a fuck.
Like, I feel like obviously my dream is to do YouTube full time and then have my run, whatever like a YouTube shelf career is, you know, or the shelf life of it is.
Yeah.
Versus when you go from like your peak down to like you're more of your like resolution phase where your core audience is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if things get successful, like obviously I want a Porsche, and then at some point that's my dream car, a 911.
Yeah.
But like I'm completely okay with like maybe I won't get the GT3 RS. That's totally fine. That's a $350,000 car.
Yeah.
Even if I get like maybe a $50,000 or $60,000 Porsche, like that's the one I have. Like,
yeah.
But like that's okay because it's mine. Like I feel like that video would be okay because like when I like Porsches and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to it or I have this, you know, and then I get to take photos of my own car or X, Y, or Z. I feel like that won't like really rub people the wrong way versus like hey guys, look at my new $3 million car. Ah,
That's what I think.
You're like, you're a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, and I think there's levels to that. Like, there's obviously ways to be humble about the stuff that you earn in your life, and people are going to support you for it, whatever. I think it's the way you come about showing it to people, or like telling people about what happened or the things you've earned in your life or have been lucky to have in your life. There's obviously right ways and wrong ways to show people that part of your life, because we can do whatever we want on YouTube. You can talk about whatever you want. Cool. You can tell people, give all the information about what's going on in your life if you want to. That's totally fine too. But I think once you get to that level and you start like showing it off just to get the clicks, like just to show people that you have it, then people are like, okay, you're a weirdo. But if you're being like, hey, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this for a job. I'm so thankful and grateful to be in this position. And, you know, here's something that I've always wanted. And now that I'm in this position, because of my viewers, I want to show you, you know, something that I was able to get because you got me here. It's not just, oh, I did it. It's all me. And you're saying it in the.
I feel like every YouTuber says that though. Oh, I'm thinking of my audience, and then they just run along back to like, oh, look how cool it is.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, you can tell when people are being genuine about it, and there's certain people that like, oh yeah, like you wouldn't have made it if it weren't for your fans, and like you really, and I could tell that you actually don't care about your fans. You're just saying the script to appear to be nice, but you can tell when the people are actually genuine about, you know, receiving good things in their life.
You know what car I looked at yesterday just to see what the prices are on them, because I've always wanted the car since I was like maybe in middle school.
Yeah,
is the like the first edition or like the early editions of the Audi R8s.
Oh yeah,
the one where like, you know how like you don't really see much more of the modern ones because they're discontinued now. They discontinued like last year or whatever. Where like the side gill was small. I'm talking where like the side gill took up the whole side of the car.
Went all the way.
Yeah. The here, I'll show it to you. But like they're getting to like 60 or 70 grand, which is still a lot for a car. But it's also like a piece of history where nobody was really building like cars like that, and the daytime running headlights, like that car came standard with them. Which, like, remember like my car and your car, like we don't have daytime running headlights or anything like that. Like it was like a new thing. Here, let me look it up. And you can find them for not crazy pricing, you know? Like 60 grand is crazy for a car, but
for a car like that though.
Yeah. Like it's literally the car of the era that it is.
Yeah, that one's fucking dope. I remember that.
I want one so bad. I don't even want the V10.
I seen a lady. I seen a lady drive a red one right in front of my house the other day.
Yeah, dude, they're nice.
I was walking across the street and it just rumbled by behind me, and I went, oh, and I like looked, you know, over my shoulder, like with my mouth open, like, and it was I heard her rip it up through the intersection.
Dude,
it was so cool.
That's the new ones, you know, like those are like 300 grand, you know?
Yeah.
Like those look cool, right? But there's something about that.
The way the other one looks, I don't know, it's
almost timeless.
Yeah, I think
because it didn't do the whole over aggressive thing like every car manufacturer's doing nowadays.
Yeah.
It's not overly aggressive. It's just a body piece that looks like, it's almost like reminiscent of like the E46 BMW.
Yeah,
be like the M3. It's not overly aggressive looking. It has a sleek round body, but somehow still looking masculine while being round.
There's something just looks nice. Yeah, there's something beautiful about the simplicity of the design.
Yes,
that I think it says more about the character of the car than the other cars, the newer cars now with the more aggressive like body style.
Yeah.
There's like, you're trying to send a message with the more aggressive body style. I think the other one was like, it's up for interpretation. You know, you can see the car however you want to see it, and it's going to look nice no matter what. You know, the very simple, elegant, sleek design. And so I can see, why you miss the older ones versus the newer ones.
So I was looking them up. They have most of them have low miles. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like if I ever could, I think
if you could, you would. Yeah.
Yeah, if I could, I think I would.
No, I was talking to my dad about. He was like, "Oh, I want to get." He just made a comment. He was like, "What if I just got something crazy?" I was like, "Well, that's not rare. That's not. You don't really say stuff like that." And I said, "What about the McLaren F1?" He goes, "Nah, that thing's over $1 million now." Yeah. He said, "If I would have got one back in the day, maybe for $700,000." Like, fuck, dude. And he's like, "Yeah, Jay Leno bought a used one for 800 grand from a guy. The guy who spent $1 million."
Replaced on that thing every 5,000 miles, so it's like, or less, and like that thing's like 80 grand to fix.
Yeah. being facetious. It's like such a ridiculous car. You know what I mean? And I told him you should just honestly get a GTO again. But instead of getting the American GTO version, you get the Australian version of the GTO.
But I feel like he's already had that car.
No, but the Australian version has the right hand drive and it has the Holden badge on it. It looks a lot nicer than the American version. I don't know. I'm just biased because I love that car. That's why I love that car.
Yeah, but then your right hand drive, that sounds like it sucks.
Dude, right hand drive looks fucking awesome. What do you mean?
Nah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I wouldn't, like, if I had the money, I don't even think I'd buy a Skyline. Maybe it would be a fun experience to be right hand drive. Like, to drive it like, oh, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
But he just needs to buy a 911.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do. He needs to buy honestly, it's going to sound hard, but like he should keep the truck because that's going to be your reliable American built vehicle. Because
it's a nice Ram, whatever.
It's a nice Ram.
I get it.
It's great.
But the Fiat, the Abarth, I'll take it off his hands so he doesn't have to worry about it.
No, he needs to sell that thing and use that towards the down payment.
I want to take it. I'll take the car.
Got enough.
I'll take the car.
No,
I'll take the car. He
needs to sell the Abarth.
Fuck.
And use it as a down payment for like if he likes 911s. I don't even know if he does. Or whatever type of sports car he likes.
Yeah.
He needs to use that as a down payment, and then it'll go in the same spot in the garage, right?
Yeah.
Might need cleared out a little bit. Just get the sports car he likes or he wants so that he can have that, like, fun. Like, he's at the age where retired.
Yeah, he needs his fun
and now,
car.
like, if you notice, your dad's probably more of, like, a teenager now.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, an adult.
He's just be doing projects and random shit around the house.
That's what he needs to do. He needs to do that and enjoy that car.
Yeah.
And then guess who gets that when he's done with it?
Me.
Yeah, you do.
Well, here's the thing: is his twin brother got the new Corvette.
Yeah.
He waited he was on the wait list for over a year to get it, and then he ended up getting it like 3 months early because hella people were canceling their orders because a lot of people were getting the lower tiered Corvette with not a lot of options on it.
Fuck that.
And then a lot of the mid tier people were getting kind of not rare options, but options that weren't being picked, and then at some point they were having supply chain issues where a lot of those options couldn't be made.
Yeah, or they'll ship it and then you have to like come back in 6 months when we get the chipset.
Exactly. And so then a lot of people were just canceling their orders. But my uncle's, I think selection of combination of traits for the car were all like good. So he managed to get to like almost the front of the line.
Yeah.
And he got his car early. So now, I don't know, I feel like my dad sees his brother driving his dream car and he's kind of thinking like, fuck, I want my dream car now.
Well, I was looking at Corvettes with my dad while I was looking at the R8s.
Yeah.
The era after, like, I think it's at the C7 because the C8 right now is the one that's like the one your uncle has, I believe.
Yeah.
I've always liked the C7, which was like
the iteration before that.
The iteration before that, which is front engine, and like obviously Corvettes have been built like that for almost 100 years now.
Yeah.
Probably like 70 or 80, I don't know. But like obviously the rear engine ones or the mid engine ones, like those are probably prone to having
a lot of issues
because they don't know anything about them yet. We're getting the data right now. That's the only problem about buying a new version of a car.
Yeah.
I always told my dad, I was like, dude, these are nice. He goes, I don't like them. They're too plasticky. This. And now he's like, I like that era of Corvette. And I was like, am I right all the time about certain design choices?
I think you just have good taste.
When people don't like things. And I'm like, okay, I get what people don't like, but that's going to be nice. And then later on, people are like, yeah, that is nice.
I think it's because you're comfortable with your opinion on things and you're just willing to call it like immediately how you think it's going to, you just have a good gut feeling in terms of how things are going to go in terms of being popular or unpopular.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for a while people didn't really give a shit about those. And then all of a sudden, the new ones come out and then the iterations 1 or 2 steps below that, they start resurfacing because people are like, actually, though, I do like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They become... Okay, so like the C6 Corvette is the one that my dad had when I was a kid. He had it on a lease. Let me look it up for you. And I've always liked the body style because it has a perfect blend between sports car and simple.
That was the more
elegant.
rounded one, right?
Yeah. Let me try to pull up an unmodified one since everyone's modifying these now. Since everyone else can get their hands on them. This one right here. It's shaped like a wedge, like all Corvettes.
Dude, that's like the classic Corvette style.
Right?
Yeah.
And it still has the V8. And it has simple rim options. You're not getting crazy things, like...
But the insides are still, like... Because when it came out, it was, like, so new, The insides, in terms of the console and all that stuff, it still looks really cool.
Yeah, it's not too archaic. Here, this is the back end of what they look like.
Oh yeah, the classic
Clean.
4 circular lights, the
Super
flat, the straight flat wedged back.
Yeah, super clean. The rims aren't crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the back end of a Ford GT.
Yeah.
You know, with the straight wedged back and
Yeah.
the two circular lights on the back. Very similar style. I like that.
The back wheels are massive. So, like, well, obviously, when you have to go change tires, it's going to be like 700.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
For each one.
So, you're going to buy a car that has low to the floor. For like 480-ish horsepower. Now, granted, it's a little bit older nowadays as a V8, you know.
But it's still solid.
It's still fun.
Still solid.
You have a lot of grip in the back. And you want to know what those go for? If you just buy a regular model automatic transmission, just for like, I know everyone's like, oh, fuck, man.
I'm going to guess 32 grand.
Dude, they're going for like 25.
You're lying.
A clean Corvette, C6 Corvette, decent miles. They don't have crazy miles because old people buy these and don't drive them. Right? Like 40,000
That's
miles.
true. They sit in the garage with like...
They sit in the garage most of the time.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
They bring them out on the weekends to go to car shows. They have low miles, which is like 40,000 to 50. You can still take them to Chevy. They're going to be cheap parts to fix.
Yeah.
Since it's not all newish tech, you know?
Right.
The interiors look good. They're comfortable. The only part that makes me uncomfortable is that it's the doors where you hit the button and then the little window goes... And you show you electronically can get out.
Oh, yeah,
Kind of like
yeah.
my car. But those ones have like a safe release. If the battery does die and you can't get out, it has a... Pops the door.
Gotcha.
But I'm like, dude, this is like a bang for your buck.
That's actually kind of a steal, low key.
It's kind of a steal.
Yeah.
If you do... My car now is a coupe. It's a little coupe.
Yeah.
I'm not losing space by buying that one if I did, which I'm not going to, you know, just because...
I feel like it's slightly longer than yours, but it's still relatively small.
Yeah. Definitely you have less cabin space as far as piloting it. But
yeah.
It's a fun car, you know, you're driving a Corvette. But then also you don't need the Stingray. Like, granted, like, I'm not hating on your uncle. Like, that's awesome that he got the brand new one.
Yeah.
But also he's still driving a $100,000 car with $100,000 car payments.
Yep.
You know? Whereas, like, you buy a Corvette as a younger-ish guy or whatever, you know, like our age group.
Yeah, you could relatively afford it.
Yeah, still have fun.
Get away with it.
And maybe say you bought it off somewhere where like you are going to make monthly payments. 400, 300.
It's not too bad. It's not the end of the world if you can. If you're a young person who doesn't have debt and is good with their money, you could definitely afford to do it.
You could definitely swing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that makes me think now. Should we do it?
It made me think about the Corvette that was parked out near your house.
The black one. It was the construction guy's Corvette, right? The black one.
But it was like an older one.
The older one, yeah. I think older than the one you were.
It's probably like a generation or two older. And it looked 80s.
And it had the chrome rims on it, like those starfish. Rims with the thin arms. I think that's the one that you're talking about.
It was parked kind of where you got towed.
Yes, that was. It was in the spots right on the other opposite corner, the end of where I got my car towed.
That's usually where I park. It was right there.
Yeah.
And like that made me think about it because I looked at it, I was like, that's a nice Corvette. It's the one that probably still had the flip up headlights.
Yeah, that belongs to one of the construction guys.
Yeah, it's nice. Think about it. He's probably having a good time in that car.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine that they're like really that big of problems because how could an American company fuck up a V8? That's Chevy, sorry.
Yeah, that's
Dodge
Chevy.
fucks them up all the time.
Yeah.
They drop rods and pistons and everything. They just fucking blow themselves up.
Just LS swap the Corvette.
Well, that's what it comes with. I think it's an LS motor.
Yeah.
It's like a version of it.
Yeah, that'd be so fucking cool. Yeah. Have a nice old classic Corvette.
Yeah.
You clean it up nice, get some nice rims on it.
Clean it up. Like, even if it comes with a nice stock rim, maybe you make a modification. Like maybe you want your windows tinted, or maybe you want like brighter headlights or something. Other than that, you keep it its nice little wedge shape. If you have a garage it when you can. Other than that, like that's able to where like you could pretty much daily the Corvette.
Yeah.
And enjoy yourself.
Right. Either my two options for that, if I like imaginary scenario, if I were to get something like that car, my two color options would be black with bronze rims or the light silver with chrome rims.
The light silver is nice. It's like that BMW color.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the ones that's for sale in San Diego.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Like 25 Gs. It has that silver-ish. Like the blue silver. It's nice.
That's cool.
To me, that's okay. Even though chrome is kind of an older person thing now. Or I guess, like that's just how it is.
I'm biased because my dad always liked chrome rims, so it's all that I seen in the...
Your dad's retired, so he's in that age group.
It's all that I see at the house is when he gets his cars, it's the nice chrome rim options.
Yeah. To me, it wouldn't... Well, my dad got his Corvette with the chrome rims. It was
I just like the shiny.
Maroon red with the chrome.
Ooh.
The only thing is the chrome pits a lot earlier. Obviously, you have to keep it super...
Yeah, you have to put the work to keep them clean.
Mine, when I would either like... Honestly, at this point, obviously, like you can't really pick and choose. Like even if you got an orange Corvette,
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
You know? My favorite one would be white.
Okay.
Brass rims.
Ooh, white with brass.
White with brass. That's exactly how I build build the Porsche every time I'm on the website.
That's mean.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because it's old enough to where it looks nice, but it's also kind of like fresh enough to be new. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. And the body style. The thing about that body style is it's not offensive. It's not aging bad.
Yeah.
It just looks sleek.
Because I feel like some cars like that, like the Scat Pack, or I don't know. I'm thinking mostly Scat Pack because it looks so aggressive sometimes, like with all the extra mods on it, and it's like like really in your face. Even the Mustang, like the nice ones that are like lowered and they have like the weird kits on them and everything. It's just like, whoa, man, like that's just too much for me.
Yeah,
and it's like I get it. You want to have like that track looking vehicle, but it's like I don't know. It just looks like it's too much to me. That style.
Yeah.
So I do really like you said, that simpler, more elegant, sleek looking type body. I mean that's the one you can look at even 20 years from now and still be like, that fucks.
Well, yeah, so it's literally the whole less is more. Mm-hmm. Well, would that car come out 15 years ago, and I still take it now?
I don't know when it came out.
Yeah. I think it's like, well, I mean, my dad had it pre-2008, so...
Yeah. Okay, yeah, like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, like, less is more.
Yep.
I mean, did you see that even Ford is making, like, a GT version of the Mustang? Like... how the GT4 or the GT3 RS is.
I have not heard about that.
DRS and everything.
Whoa.
Massive brakes, big tires. Here, I'll look it up.
That's crazy.
I forgot
what I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, of course. All you know what's funny about car trending right now is everyone's going from like the luxurious to like track oriented.
Yeah.
With like the rise of motorsport being popular. With DRS. Yeah, it's supposed to be some crazy, but like again, I'm sure rich people will, but like, who's gonna spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars on a Mustang?
Oh man, see what I mean? That's too much, man. It just looks too crazy. Like, why are you doing all that extra vent stuff and all that weird hood shape stuff?
Well, it's all aero stuff, which again, like I get if some people aren't a fan. Like, I showed my mom the build of the GT3 RS that I like, and she said like it just looks like too much. And I get it.
No, but the Porsche, like, when I look at a Porsche GT3 like that, I was like, that's enough.
Yeah.
I don't know why when I saw that one, it just seemed like...
It's because they're putting a clunky muscle car into, like, track mode. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's probably fun.
I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm just saying it looks a little odd.
Yeah.
That's why.
But the way the Porsche looks, it's like... It's just...
When I imagine GT racing or whatever, like... Le Mans or something, I imagine a Porsche to look like that.
Yeah.
I don't imagine seeing a...
Maybe because it's new to the Mustang.
I think so, maybe. And
whereas they've been building out crazy-looking Porsches and Audis and X, Y, or Z for so long that it looks normal.
Yeah.
I can see it. That makes sense.
Maybe that's why. Yeah. Interesting, though.
How about if you saw like a Hellcat Charger?
Ew.
4-door?
Ew.
Built with all the big... the arrow. I'd be like... The Dodge brothers are rolling in their grave. Like,
dude, we roll up to the light with the fat thumbs down. Like, ew.
What have you done?
Boo. Tomatoes. Throw tomatoes at this man. Boo.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, we're reaching the end here. We're at 58 minutes and 23 seconds.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and cut the episode. Honestly, this episode flew by.
It did. Yeah, it went by really quick.
Shit.
It was a good one. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you're still here at the end, leave a like and a comment down below. What you think? What's your favorite car? And what's some crazy shit happening in your world right now?
What is your dream car? Like,
yeah, what's your dream car?
Name us like an unrealistic dream car. Whereas like mine's like a GT3 RS, which is a $300,000 car.
Yeah.
And then I have like a realistic dream car, which is like an E46 M3, which is like those are like $40,000 now.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Mm-hmm.
So what is your unrealistic dream car and what's your dream car?
Yeah, let us know in the comments below. We will catch you next week on the podcast. Thanks again for listening. See you later.